Season's beatings, everyone. I'm Nick.
I'm Dave, and it's not the Christmas episode yet.
Oh, damn. Well, too bad.
Well, welcome to Cheap Pops, and he's already got a gift for me, so...
Yes, I do.
What is this? Is this tape from work?
Maybe.
What is this? Oh, Scarface. That's really cool.
And there's two.
I see that. That's awesome. Scarface is my favorite movie of all time, so that's awesome. I wasn't expecting to do gifts today because it's not our Christmas. I like that. That's really cool.
And it don't say no WWE on it either.
WWF. That's really cool. I like how Papa Shango's on there just randomly with all these legends, but not that he's not a legend. Oh, Marty Jannetty's on there, so that's even... That's cool. I like that. Thank you. And what else we got? Oh, dude.
Yes!
You went on a Temu shopping spree, didn't you? That is awesome. That's going on my shelf with my movies, The World.
I knew that one would love that the most.
That's really cool. What else? What else? What else? And now... Oh, that's cool. That's badass. A Scarface shirt with the Scarface logo. That's really cool. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
He's not getting his stuff until the Christmas episode, so...
That's okay. You still got one more thing on the way.
Yeah. So, that's really cool. Thank you very much.
I knew that you would love this the most, though.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. If you've never watched the show before, we focus mainly on wrestling, but as you can see behind me, Sonic is there. We cover pop culture stuff, too. So, speaking of Sonic, the Sonic 3 is coming out on the 20th, which is, I can't wait to see, with Keanu Reeves as the voice of Shadow. He's not really doing a voice. He's pretty much just being Keanu Reeves as Shadow, which is pretty cool. I mean, these movies have got Jim Carrey out of retirement, and he's playing two different characters. He's playing Robotnik and then, like, Robotnik's grandfather.
Ooh.
I don't really remember the character names a lot. I know Tails, I know Knuckles, I know Shadow, and I know Robotnik, but...
I know a little bit.
I think it might be Eggman. I think his grandfather is Eggman, I think, maybe, but it's going to be great to see. I think they've really hit a home run with the Sonic movies, so I'm sure this one will be no different. I haven't watched the Sonic show on, was it Paramount Plus? I haven't watched that. I do want to watch that, though. I don't know if you saw the news from yesterday. Yesterday was TNA's final resolution. Tessa Blanchard is back in TNA. She attacked Jordynne Grace. I think Jordynne Grace is going NXT. Because what's the reason for signing Tessa Blanchard and have her attack Jordynne Grace?
Right.
At the end of the well, it wasn't a pay-per-view, it was one of their special events. But why would you do that unless somebody was leaving? And I think that's going to be Jordynne Grace. I've said it before, I'm not a fan of Grace, so I don't really care that she's going to be going. But, you know, whatever. I mean, I'm sure she'll do good in NXT. I have the Venom mask out because Venom is now streaming. You have to rent it, but still, I do want to watch it. He saw it. So what'd you think of that?
It was really, really good.
See, I see mixed reviews. A lot of people don't like the Venoms. I've thought they were good.
It's hilarious.
But see, my thing is I'm not a big comic book, person, so I go into it just as a movie, open-minded, just as a movie.
Yes. And you know me, I'm big into the comics and stuff.
Right.
But I loved it.
That's the same with, like, the Dungeons & Dragons. I knew nothing about the Dungeons & Dragons games, so I just went into it as a movie, and I really enjoyed it. I think a lot of people get lost in it has to be exactly to the canon of that thing, and they don't allow any artistic license, and to me, I think that's wrong.
It is.
That's like the Lord of the Rings movies. If you stuck straight to the books, there'd have to be like 43 different movies. if you wanted Tom Bombadil and all the other stuff that's in it. I mean, the extended ones go way in depth, but there's only so much you can do. And, you know, like the Snyder Cut for Justice League and stuff like that. If you want those things, that's great. But for me, I can go into it just as a movie and just enjoy it. Like, I think Sonic's going to be good. I'll rent Venom and watch it, or maybe I'll wait until it's just full streaming where you don't have to pay $20. Just stupid. $20 to rent it when it was what? You know, it was $20 to go see it in the theater. You know, like, nah, no thanks. But Tessa Blanchard, I'm going to watch Final Resolution. I haven't watched it yet. But Tessa Blanchard does nothing for me. I mean, she's a former Impact champion, which is stupid too, but what are you going to do?
Shall we talk about what we've been checking out with, like, on Peacock with, like, old wrestling-wise?
You go right ahead, man.
I found a hidden gem, and I mean a truly hidden gem, Super Brawl 93. And I never knew that this match existed until I watched this. Chris Benoit versus Too Cold Scorpio. Chris Benoit with long hair. Yeah,
I mean, 93 for WCW is kind of hit or miss. There's some good matches and then there's some really bad stuff. Just watch the Battle Bowl, you know, that's horrible. But yeah, I forgot about that match too. I've said before, I have trouble watching Chris Benoit matches because, you know, the way everything ended. But it is cool to find a hidden thing like that, you know. Like, I've been going back through and watching a lot of the old Coliseum video releases that are on Peacock. I don't know what's going to happen to it. I don't know how long Peacock has to switch over to Netflix. It seems only natural that it would. But then in January, AEW content is going to be on Max, and they're going to be streaming live on Max at the same time as the TV show is on TBS and TNT. I think that's really cool. It'll expand.
That is really cool.
I mean, if you're a casual wrestling fan and you haven't watched for a long time and on Max, you might check it out and you might enjoy it. You know what I mean? I think that's why AEW really needs to put their best foot forward for a while if they know that their stuff is going to be streaming on Max. Because, you know, you put Chris Jericho out there in the current incarnation that he's doing, I don't think you're going to grab too many viewers for it. No. But let's talk about the Survivor Series. What did you think of the Survivor Series all in all?
It was other than the women's match.
Yeah, the women's Hell in a Cell. Oh my God, I can't. War Games. The women's, yeah. And my thing, they do the cool intros where, you know, people are walking into the arena like it's a real sporting event, which is really cool. We've said it before, the production values, now that Kevin Dunn is gone, are just amazing. The stuff that they're doing
absolutely.
Is so good. For me, if they had to explain, if you escape the cage, you forfeit. Like it's supposed to be, and you don't have to worry about that. But the whole reason they don't is because they want them to do crazy shit off the top of the cage, to do crazy dives, which you don't need.
No.
But
I wish that they would have brought the option into the WWE 2K24 of having the modern day War Games cage. War Games cage.
Right, because it's not like you'd have to do a lot to put a top on it. It's not like, you know, a lot of, you know, computing power to put a top on it. But I agree. We're not going to go through every, you know, part of it. At one point, there was a toilet seat in the match. and my first thought was, of course there's a toilet seat, because Nia Jax is shit. She just is. I'm sorry.
That wasn't my only thought. I wasn't the only one that thought that.
And my thing also is, the baby faces had the advantage. So they're coming in, and they've got like 3 minutes where they can, you know, double team the heels. Your teammate needs help. You have the advantage, and you take 2 minutes out of that advantage to grab shit from underneath the ring to use as a weapon. The cage is a weapon. Slam them into the cage and back and forth. That metal plate that's in between the two rings. You know, that's diamond plate. Bang them off of that. You don't need to be grabbing, you know, fucking trash cans and shit and kendo sticks, you know. And we'll talk about chairs a little
Can we talk? No. Can we talk about chairs now?
Go right ahead. Yeah.
Hulk Hogan does better at chair shots.
Yeah, Naomi and Nia Jax did the gingerest chair shots, and they missed a couple of them too, which was just horrible. I wrote down Botchamania could just run 95% of this match as highlights, and they'd get a whole episode out of it. It was so bad. And I love women's wrestling, but this match was shit.
Yeah.
And I wrote, once again, your team is getting beat up, and Io Sky takes the time to strap on a trash can around her neck that's, painted her colors and everything, and climb the outside of the cage to jump off the top of it. How fucking stupid is that if you're trying to win? Well, you can't win the match at that point, but you've got the advantage and you can beat down your opponents, and you're taking the time to do that stupid shit. It drives me insane.
I took it and watched some of the older War Games.
The older War Games are amazing.
Yes, I took a look back at 90. The one with the 97 or 98, where they're like writing off Ric Flair off TV.
That's 97 when he gets his head slammed in the cage by Kurt Hennig. Yeah, that's a really good one.
That is a really good one.
98, where the Ultimate Warrior was in it, and it was like 3 different teams, and you could win it at any time. Should never have called that War Games, because it totally wasn't War Games.
96 was really good.
96 was good.
With Sting.
Yeah, the couple months after the NWO had debuted. My personal favorite is Sting's Squadron versus the Dangerous Alliance. I believe that's 92.
92, War something. And I actually started watching that.
But for an honorable mention, 1994, the Nasty Boys, Dusty Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes against the Stud Stable with Colonel Robert Parker is one of them. And a little known fact, Colonel Robert Parker shits his pants in that match because he's taking real shoot elbow drops from the Nasty Boys and splashes. So he literally does shit himself at the end of that match.
And if you look closely, people, you can actually see it through the white.
Because he's wearing white pants.
Yes, he's literally wearing white.
Yeah, but back to this War Games. I noticed ads all over the ring mat. It's not just the Prime logo anymore. There's actually other ads too. Vince McMahon, I'm sure, loves that because he refused to have ads on the ring mats. And then there's This Is Awesome chants. I wrote, there's low standards in Canada. Liv Morgan was last, and she brought out a bat. You could tell that this thing was it was rubber or whatever.
Oh my god, what about the bat shots?
Yeah, because the bat was as long as a kendo stick, and I'm telling, there's no baseball bat that's that long. I'm just saying. This match sucked, in my opinion.
The only thing that came good out of this match was what Rhea Ripley was wearing for the mask.
Oh yeah,
that was
mask,
badass.
Yeah, that mask was really, really cool. She looked really menacing. She got the win by doing tied off the ropes through a table.
That was the best thing out of the whole match.
Yeah, it just. I understand why they started with this, because you had the other War Games, which is really heavy on story. So I get why, but it was bad. And there was a lot of good wrestlers, and Bayley's a great wrestler, Liv's a great wrestler, Rhea Ripley, even Candice LeRae's a good wrestler. But this match was bad, just totally bad. The shocker of the night to me, Shinsuke Nakamura versus LA Knight for the US title. Nakamura, that entrance that he's got now, do you remember Kenzo Suzuki in 2004? That's kind of what it reminds me of. But I like his new music. It's like a mix. Good match, LA Knight. I don't know what they're going to do with him now because, surprise, surprise, Nakamura won the U.S. title after this is his first match since he came back. So, it's cool. I don't think LA Knight needs it. He needed the win to get it, but I don't think he needs it. He needs to get a world title at some point, but as long as he's in the main event mix and they're doing good stuff with him, he's kind of like Piper. He doesn't really need the title because he can talk and he can make people care about him by talking.
Speaking of Piper, if I can lead into what I want for our Christmas episode, I think Piper was the only superstar I know if you can correct me if I'm wrong, was the only one to to compete in the very first Starrcade and the very first WrestleMania.
I don't know. Did Greg Valentine might have had a match at WrestleMania 1?
That's where I got confused, and it's like,
to be honest, I don't remember. I'd have to, but we can figure.
Yes.
You know, I'll write that down.
Yeah, because I want to find that out, because that was really awesome.
Okay, yeah. So for our Christmas episode, which we are going to record on Christmas Eve, we are going to review Starrcade '83, the first Starrcade. It's a Thanksgiving, but it's the same kind. It's the holiday season, so
yeah.
You know it works. And then there was a triple threat for the Intercontinental title. Braun Breaker, and to be honest, I did not write down who else was in the match, and I can't remember.
Kaiser
and Sheamus.
Yes.
It was good. Braun Breaker is a freak athlete.
Yes.
He needs the Steiner name. You're already calling, you know, his move the Breakensteiner. His name is Steiner. Stop calling him Braun Breaker. It's just stupid. But he retained the IC title.
What was really cool is that he was actually wearing his uncle's T-shirt, WCW Scott Steiner T-shirt.
That's cool. That's really cool. I like that. The World Heavyweight title, Damian Priest against Gunther. I thought it was well-paced. It was a hard-hitting match. Balor interfered with a stomp.
And now we're getting a triple threat match at Saturday night's main event format.
Yep, I got a whole preview of Saturday night's main event all written out. Gunther choked out Priest, retained the World Heavyweight title. I really liked what they did to set up the War Games, the main event, where they did like the football profiles where they, you know, this is just their bust and they're talking about where they went to school and all that stuff. I thought that was pretty cool. That was interesting. I think it would have been funny if they had like R-Truth do one where he, you know, kind of like the Key and Peele skit.
Yeah.
Just out of nowhere. I thought that would have been funny. I think the new Bloodline with Bronson Reed looks badass.
Yes.
I think it's a shame that Bronson Reed got injured in this match, but you know, he'll be back, and he's Samoan too. He's got I think he's like half Samoan. So I mean, he may not be part of the family. I mean, They might be distant cousins or something. Because I don't want to say they're all the same, but Samoa's kind of a small island, you know. So
careful there, you're
right.
You're treading in light water there.
I did like when CM Punk came out, he pie faced Bronson Reed while he was in the shark cage. That was pretty cool. It was slow paced, not slow paced, but it was slower paced, heavy on story. They tried to show dissension in the old school bloodline between Punk and Roman and all that stuff.
I think the best thing that we got out of that was them going like this.
Yeah, that meme, with those two. That was Punk and Roman. Heyman came out to try to band them together. Bronson Reed tried the tsunami off of the cage. Punk moved Reigns away from the table, and Bronson Reed hit the table, and that's when he broke his ankle.
Yes, and there is footage of him actually walking out.
Yeah. It's probably not as bad, but they're going to say it's as bad just because that's what they do. Solo Sikoa got hit with everybody's finisher, and Roman got the cover, and then Roman and CM Punk shook hands. We got Solo here, Baby Umaga.
Baby Umaga!
Darby Allin's on here. We were going to review Full Gear, but I can't find my notes, so the review of Full Gear is either not going to happen or we'll do it next time. But
yeah. I got to get us some Roman Reigns action figure to put up here. A modern Roman Reigns.
Right. All in all, I thought it was a good Survivor Series. I mean, the women's match was shit. But what are you going to do? I mean, they only have 4 or 5 matches a card now, so... And it's still 3 hours, and they're only having like 5 matches. So
I think the thing that takes up the most of it is the pre-show and the after segment stuff.
Right, and I mean, if you haven't seen what's happened lately, the New Day, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods turned on Big E. Everybody thought Woods was going to turn on Kofi, but now they're getting booed. The Dominic Mysterio treatment, where the crowd, won't let them talk, which they're piping in some of that. The crowd isn't that loud. They're piping in some of that like they did for Dominic Mysterio and like AEW did for Don Callis. So my buddy Dave sent me this thing. It was a meme of Woods and Xavier with Ridge Holland, the guy who injured Big E, to bring him up from NXT and have him go with the New Day would just get the crowd going insane.
Yes.
You know, so I believe, and it's, you know, a lot of people have said it online, Big E is cleared to wrestle. Because why would you do this? Why would you have him never show up at all ever since he's been injured, and just now, when you're turning them heel, he shows back up again, and it's close to Royal Rumble time? Something smells fishy to me. I'm just saying. You know, I mean, why would you even do that if he couldn't wrestle? That makes no sense. That's kind of like when Vince Russo screwed Hulk Hogan in 2000. If they were going to play that storyline out, it would have been Hulk Hogan against Vince Russo. Who's that helping?
Right.
You know what I mean? So it makes no sense. So why would you? But I don't know. Who knows? But the stuff they've been doing lately has been great. So I'm not complaining at all. Where AEW has been kind of falling, WWE is hitting on all cylinders right now. So
it's about freaking time again.
Yeah, it really is.
Ever since Vinnie Mac went.
Yep. So, you didn't get to watch the TNA Turning Point pay-per-view. Well, it wasn't pay-per-view. But I watched it, so you don't watch TNA that much. So I'll just go through it real quick. The opening match, it was at WrestleCade, which is a big, convention down in North Carolina. So they were in kind of like a convention hall building. So they didn't have their regular lighting and their regular setup, so I don't think it looked very good. But, I mean, it wasn't a pay-per-view. It was a special on their on the TNA Plus. The opening match was Santana against Kazarian. Thought it was a good opening match. Santana won with the spin the block, which is a discus clothesline. And then they did the old-school Turkey Bowl match that TNA always did. John Schuyler, Eric Young, Rhino, Hammerstone, Brian Myers, and Joe Hendry. It was multi-man chaos. Hammerstone looked like he injured his leg at one point, legitimately. Joe Hendry pinned Myers, and Myers had to wear the turkey suit. I figured that's who it was going to be. If it was going to be anybody out of that group, Eric Young's already worn it once back when he was the crazy character. He's not that anymore, so out of all that group, I said Joe Hendry's not going to wear it, so it's going to be Brian Myers.
Joe Hendry's is so over.
Yeah, Joe Hendry's doing really well. The X Division title, Moose is actually the X Division champion, which, a 300-pound guy, but Abyss was X Division champion at one point. Samoa Joe was X Division champion at some point.
Let's not forget Team 3D.
So it was Moose against the Laredo Kid. You've met Moose. I've met Laredo Kid, so that's pretty cool. Classic small guy versus little guy. David versus Goliath. Like I said, the lighting was horrible. Glad this isn't a pay-per-view. Laredo Kid did a Spanish fly on Moose off the ropes at one point, which is pretty impressive. I mean, Moose is a pretty athletic guy, but still, that's pretty impressive. Moose won with 2 spears. The fact that he did 2 to beat Laredo Kid says a lot. My favorite match, Steve Macklin versus Josh Alexander, no DQ. Alexander did the Kurt Angle multiple German suplexes on Macklin.
Suplex City, bitch?
Yeah, there was they had a table set up kind of like folded under, so it was kind of like diagonal.
Oh, like a slant.
Right, and Steve Macklin did a Death Valley driver off the ring apron through that diagonal table. It was pretty cool. Steve Macklin did an Alabama slam onto open chairs on Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander had him up on a torture rack in the ring, and he just flipped him around and it looked really awkward. He went over the top rope onto a table, and he landed like on his shoulder.
Oh.
It looked pretty gnarly. And then, if you don't know who Steve Macklin is, he was a Marine, and so he, instead of the bag full of thumbtacks, he dumps out a bag of shell casings, which I thought was pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool. He did the, I can't remember what the KIA is, but he did it off the top rope into shell casings. And Steve Macklin won. We're both really high He's really good. We met him at a World of Hurt show before. He had a really good match. He's a really good dude. So, and he's married to my favorite wrestler, Deanna.
I was gonna say.
I knew where you were going, so I figured I'd preempt it and say it. Supposed to be in this match, but it's pretty cool that they got him for it. Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, and Ace Austin against Kushida. And Trey Miguel was supposed to be in this match, the other half of the Rascals, but he couldn't make it. So since it's WrestleCade, there's a lot of wrestlers there. Matt Riddle showed up and was in the match. So
no shit.
Yeah, that was really cool. I thought it was an okay 6-man. I'm kind of over the Hardys at this point. They've been around way too long. Kind of like Jericho, they've just been around. The shine is off of the Hardys, in my opinion. Jeff just does the same old stuff all the time. He can't even do as much as he used to do. Matt Hardy is half broken, half his regular self. It doesn't work for me anymore. I don't know about you. It just doesn't work for me anymore. So,
if you want to bring shine back to Jeff, the Willow character, we didn't get enough of that.
No, I really enjoyed Willow. I thought that was actually a pretty cool thing. But the Hardys and Ace Austin won after Jeff Hardy did a swanton.
You mean a crouton?
Yeah. The TNA Women's title, Masha Slamovich versus didn't take it. Grace won the first fall, and then Masha tied it up with a small package out of the Juggernaut driver, which is, I think it's like a Hoovy driver that am I keeping you awake?
No.
Oh, all right. I mean, it's your day off. You should have gotten plenty of sleep.
Ugh.
And Masha retained with a package pile driver. That was pretty cool. You don't see a lot of 2 out of 3 falls women's matches, so and you know, if Jordan Grace does end up going to NXT, it does open the door for other women. I wish it wasn't Tessa Blanchard, but you know, what are you gonna do? And then the main event for the TNA World Title, Eddie Edwards versus Nick Nemeth. If you don't know who Nick Nemeth is, the former Dolph Ziggler. Thought it was a good match, 2 real pros.
Nikki!
Yeah, Nikki. Myers came out wearing the turkey suit to interfere, which was really funny. And then JBL shows up, clotheslines Myers, and then Dolph gets the super kick and the danger zone, which is formerly the zigzag, and he gets the win. If you don't know, JBL's been showing up at Game Changer Wrestling. He's been showing up in TNA a lot. He's been helping Nick Nemeth a lot. I don't know what they're doing, if he's just getting a payday and if this is going to pay off somewhere. I mean, I got nothing wrong with JBL showing up places, so...
No, he's just clotheslining the hell out of people.
Yeah, so nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
So before we get into your Nick picks, I got a couple things. Did you bring anything to show, or just my presents?
Just your gifts.
Okay. I've kind of been going on an eBay shopping spree lately. I've been trying to get most of the WWE Blu-rays that were available. The Click rules. I love this set. I mean, Razor Ramon against the 1-2-3 Kid, their first match from 1993. Pretty much any WWE match or WCW match that has Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, X-Pac, Shawn Michaels, or Triple H in it is going to be in this set. So I think that's pretty cool.
This I do love.
You will not find this cheap on eBay.
No.
You're talking $60-$70. I was lucky to get it for $45 because I watched a bunch of them and the guy lowered the price. The history of the Hardcore Championship 24/7.
Yes.
This is really, really cool.
I wish the replica belt would look as good as that.
Yeah, you'll never get the replica belt to look
No.
that good. But I mean, it goes all the way up to 2002. Where it says the end of an era.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it even has like stuff from Raw where Bubba Ray Dudley against Booker T, and it has the Backlash 6-man match, which is really, really cool with the swinging, hooks and stuff. So I thought that was really cool.
They even have the match on there where Big Show pins what the hell is his name? The one that used to have Lita for.
Oh, S.A. Rios.
Yes, where he pins him against the wall.
Yeah, that was a really good one. I like having the physical copies. I think the Blu-rays look amazing, especially on a 4K TV.
Yes.
So I really like those. But this, he's wearing one of the shirts from this. We already opened these. I just opened it and then put the stuff back in it. Because I have no self-control when it comes to these pro wrestling crates. Especially now that they come every other month, so you gotta wait an extra, month to get them now. So,
that's not Darby.
I don't know what this little advertisement for some kind of comic book. And then, of course, you get the card that comes with
it's Vampiro's comic book.
Oh. Well, the other shirt, which I like, and this thing is one of the soft ones I really like.
I really like this one.
I believe in Joe Hendry. Well, let me get it actually on the camera. I believe in Joe Hendry. Clap, clap. Yeah, this is really cool. I'll definitely wear that on a future episode. Go over there with the Scarface shirt. And then, of course, the shirt that he's wearing, Season's Beatings with the Grinch. What's he doing to Santa? Has he got him in like a Boston crab? Well, a half crab.
Yes.
That's cool. I like that. I don't know how they get away with using the Grinch. This I did not care for. MJF little like brawler thing. This micro brawler, like little.
The Ric Flair one was a little bit better.
Yeah. This I do like.
Yes, that I do love.
Big Van Vader with the half of Vader outfit. Darth Vader outfit. That's pretty cool. I really do. Oh, it's I thought it was coming apart. And then Marty Danhausen as Marty McFly. I really liked that too.
Yes.
And the pin, probably most people don't get it, but it's Mickey Mouse, so it's Mickey the Dragon Steamboat instead of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Like I said, I don't know how they get away with that because Disney is really protective of their stuff.
Yes, and this is actually pretty cool because all I can think is the MGM Studios.
Right, yeah. And there's Vampiro's comic book. I'm not high into the comic books or the socks. I'm glad there was no socks in this one.
But some of the comic books are pretty cool.
They are. I'd rather have actual stuff.
This I cool. Love.
Yep. Bonesaw from the Spider-Man.
I got 3 minutes.
Yep, that's really cool. I like that. I'll definitely be hanging that up. And then they explained that before King Kong Bundy died, they had a contract with him to sign a bunch of 8x10s, and they never got them back. Well, they finally got them back.
Yes.
And King Kong Bundy. I met Bundy. He was a great dude. So this is really cool to have this.
That is really cool to have it.
All in all, it was an okay crate for me. What did you think?
I want to say probably 9 out of 10.
Really? All right.
What do you say?
I would say probably a 6.5. Just because of like the MJF little thing, but the poster was good. I like the shirts.
Me, I really like the pin.
The pin's cool too. I mean, I'm gonna eventually fill up one of my vests, probably my Aces and Eights vest with pins. But I mean, these crates are really good. I enjoy them, so I enjoy getting them. So it's really cool when you get actually fun stuff. So, what was your next pick this time?
Monday Night Raw. After Kane removed the mask.
Yep.
You ready? Da, 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 da.
Still one of my favorite logos that we've done. Last episode we reviewed the actual episode where Kane unmasked. This one is the week after. We're going to go right up into SummerSlam.
Yes.
We want to do, and then we'll review SummerSlam from that year, 2003. I thought it was a great opening package with Kane, showing them Kane unmasking and everything. And
this is back when they had some good, still were doing good video packages.
Yep. And it starts out with the highlight reel, Chris Jericho's interview segment, and he brought out Stacy Keibler, and of course Scott Steiner came out with her. And I wrote, wow, you can definitely see where the learning tree came from with Jericho in this segment. I never realized how over-the-top Jericho was even back then. You can really see where he was trying out what he really wanted to do. Just, oh my God. And then he brings out Test as his other guest. Steiner clears the ring, and Eric Bischoff comes out. Stone Cold is out with food poisoning, so Eric Bischoff is the GM for the whole night. And he makes a match, Scott Steiner and Stacy Keibler against Test and Chris Jericho.
But I love what Jerry the King Lawler says. What did he drink, a bad beer?
Yeah, right. King had his good moments. Some of his stuff was good, but some of his stuff was really bad. when they come back from commercial, Lance Storm is doing a promo saying he's not boring, and Goldberg interrupts. Rodney Mack attacked Goldberg. Goldberg immediately speared Rodney Mack, and Storm ran away. So.
Yeah, your favorite segment, the White Boy Challenge.
Yeah. Yep, and then they show backstage with Eric Bischoff talking to Kane, saying he has to go out to the ring that night, and he says it was Van Damme's idea for you to unmask.
Do you get a little vibe from Ready to Rumble when he's pacing back and forth, though, in front of Kane?
Yeah.
A little bit of vibe.
When he was doing it to Sting?
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking, Ready to Rumble is on Prime right now, so I watched it the other night, too, so... Foreign object! This isn't even a pay-per-view! If you've never seen Ready to Rumble, it's so bad it's good.
Yes!
And it's not even bad. It's just, it's campy. But it's really good.
We love the campy movies.
It's true, we do. There was a battle royal for the women's title. Victoria, Trish, Molly, Jacqueline, Ivory, Jazz, who came in as the champion, and Gail Kim makes her debut in the WWE at that point. Gail Kim wins the Battle Royal and wins the title on her debut. That's pretty cool.
And I don't know if they did it to write Jazz off TV for a while, or she legit got injured.
Yeah, I know. She wasn't around. She didn't come back for a while from that. Yeah, I think not until like Unforgiven. I think, a few months later. So. And then they had the Intercontinental title, Booker T against Christian as the champion. I think they were really they were really going with Christian at this point. He was starting with the Pete's thing, and I don't know why he had charisma, I don't know why. Maybe because the brands were split up. They were trying to expand a lot of these guys. Christian jump-started it, and they fought all outside the ring. I thought it was funny that the Red Rooster, Terry Taylor, Dean Malenko, and Fit Finlay were the ones that broke up the fight.
Yeah.
And then they went to the ring. There was a double pin, and the match declared a draw, so Christian retained the title. They
were doing a really good match series with them.
Yep.
For the Intercontinental title.
Yeah. I mean, the IC title, they had just brought it back, that actually the month before.
Yep.
So... the Intercontinental title, they're going to have a women's Intercontinental title now, which is fine. The women, I think they need the roster's so big, they might as well have another title. So
right,
I do think there should be a women's only, show if they're going to, maybe on Netflix or something. Not saying that they should be gone from the regular show, but the Evolution pay-per-view that they did a few years ago did really well. So I think they could sustain it, but what do I know? They did the intergender tag match. Of course, Scott Steiner took most of the match. Bischoff's on a rampage. He restarts the match, no DQ. Test forces Scott Steiner to tag Stacy, and he hits her with a pump handle slam. Couldn't do that today.
No.
But it's still pretty cool.
God damn, Test was such a great freaking heel.
He was. He wasn't a good talker.
No.
He had the physical tools. But he looked like a douchebag that you could buy as a heel, but it just never translated well, in my opinion. When he was the heel in ECW, when he got really jacked, it seemed like he was coming into his own, but then the drug problem started, and it just wasn't there anymore, so.
And what cool little fact about Test is that he used to be a bodyguard for Motley Crue.
Yeah, I don't know if that was actually true or if they just said that because that was when Motley Crue was on the show.
Yeah.
But, it could have been true. Who knows? This is one that I completely forgot about. I forgot that Rico was doing the whole effeminate gimmick on Raw before he moved to SmackDown. And he still had Miss Jackie with him. And go back and watch this. They wouldn't be doing this today with what Miss Jackie was wearing.
Mm-mm.
She had a circle right on her ass crack where you could see the G-string going right. Not saying I'm complaining, but they wouldn't be doing that today. I'm just, he wrestled Maven.
And it's great to see Rico in AEW now.
Yeah, that's really cool. He was always good. To me, it's very reminiscent of Lanny Poffo when he was just hilarious. He would skip around the ring and, and all that stuff. He even offers Maven his hotel room key. It's just, there's nothing wrong with being gay. It's just, it's off-putting to a lot of men. Yes. So, and it doesn't, who knows if Rico was even gay. They did the same thing with Goldust. You didn't know what he was, and then they brought Marlena out. Rico's got Miss Jackie. You don't really, it's a good way to get in the head of your opponent. Nothing wrong with it. And Jackie helped Rico get the win. Remember what the next match was? Which really, I could not remember either.
Fuck, I can't remember. Because I watched it several weeks ago.
Randy Orton coming out with Ric Flair. This is just after Evolution started.
Yep.
Not the Motorhead music.
No.
It was the actual instrumental to that music, but this is before Motorhead got involved. So he comes out to the generic, the guitars and everything, against Tommy Dreamer. Who remembers that Tommy Dreamer was still wrestling for the WWE in 2003? And then I saw they had the 1-800 call ATT, as a sponsor, which I was like, wow, I forgot about that stuff too. You used to have to actually call 1-800 to call collect and try to get a discount. Dreamer tried to hit Flair with a kendo stick and turned into an RKO. Randy Orton got the win. No surprise there. Back on it.
I think he was the first one to take an RKO from Randy Orton.
He might have been. La Resistance against the Hurricane. This was back when Hurricane was trying to find tag team partners. He picked Spike Dudley for this match. At one point, they did a backdrop on Spike Dudley all the way to the floor.
Oh.
I don't know how Spike Dudley is walking today.
Oh, I know.
I mean, he was 100 and something pounds soaking wet with a brick in his pocket. There's no shock absorption with the stuff that he used to do. I watch any of his matches with Mike Awesome and ask how that guy is still walking around today, but...
And he's the one, Undertaker didn't want to do it, but he's the one that told Undertaker, yeah, do it, and chokes him to the outside of the ring.
Yeah, through the table, yeah. La Resistance won, pinning...
No, I mean with no table.
Oh, that's right, straight to the floor, yeah, that's right, I forgot.
He said he lost his air when he hit.
Yep. And then the World Heavyweight title match, Triple H against Rob Van Dam. At one point, King said, are those kicks to the face legal? King, you've been in the business since the 70s. You don't know what stuff's legal and what's not legal? That's like when Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, King said, I don't know if we've ever seen them wrestle. You called their match at Ground Zero. You called the first Hell in a Cell. You called the Royal Rumble match where Shawn Michaels got injured. I know that, to me, it's, how is there not somebody, on the headset saying, oh, they wrestled, before. I don't know. I would like to be that person, the continuity person, to say, hey, this is stupid. Why aren't you, I think they do have that now because they pull a lot of facts out that they didn't used to before. Michael Cole actually gets things right now, so
yes,
I really like that. Flair interferes in this match too. 5-star frog splash. Flair comes in, hits Van Dam with the belt.
I want to say my favorite Ric Flair has to be Ric Flair from 03. Hands down, always will love Ric Flair in 03.
Him as the weasel outside the ring interfering. It was always,
yes!
It was great in 03, I got to admit. So that's a DQ. Bischoff comes out, restarts the match, which is funny, which JR pointed out. How come the match that was a draw for the Intercontinental title didn't get restarted, but this match gets restarted? And of course King playing the heel announcer just brushes it off. And then he makes a false count anywhere. And then, did you notice when Rob Van Dam's got Triple H pinned on the outside of the ring right by the ramp? You can see the referee looking at the ramp as he's making the 3 count, waiting for Orton to come down and interfere.
Yes.
Because he knows it's supposed to happen, so he's like counting a lot slower. He's not even looking at the shoulders, he's looking up the ramp. So that's,
Where are you, Orton?
They end up going up near the screen on the ramp, the metal ramp. Triple H hits a DDT on the ramp and wins. And then Kane came out and chokeslammed Bischoff off the stage through a couple tables, which was pretty cool. And then they've got that iconic, really quick close-up view of Kane, you know, with the weird look on his face and the towel over his head, which is awesome.
No towel.
Well, that's right. The towel wasn't on.
Yeah, he went just like that.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. All in all, I thought it was a good Raw. What did you think?
It was really good. I think Kane should have stuck with that attire a lot longer than he did.
Yeah, with like the singlet top and all
Yes.
that. And yeah, my main thing was the half-shaved head always looked... I kind of understand what they were going for, but it always looked weird to me. So, what have you been doing for video games lately? What's the stuff you've been playing and downloading? And
I've mostly been playing the wrestling game.
Yeah?
And doing a lot of good simulation matches.
Yep.
Okay, I'll let you guess this one. And I did do a video, and I want us to commentate both of the matches.
Okay.
Team WCW, not what WWF did in 2001. No, an actual Team WCW.
Right.
Versus Team WWF.
Yep.
War Games. Who do you think won it?
WCW.
Yep. Then I simulated a traditional Survivor Series match. Same everything. Who do you think won that?
WWF.
Yep. And it's like, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. That's any of the new DLCs come out lately?
Yes, the new WCW pack.
Nice. What's in that one?
Diamond Dallas Page, Kurt Hennig, Lex Luthor, the Great Muta.
Oh, Muda's in it. That's
Yes.
cool. I like that.
And they finally brought back the Iron Sheik.
Really?
Yep.
He's in the WCW pack?
Yep.
That's weird. I mean, he was only in WCW for like a couple of years.
I know, but still,
I'm not complaining.
We got the Iron Sheik from it. I love it.
That's great. No, that's really cool.
And we got Fall Brawl from '95.
Oh, that's cool.
I had to look up all the different arenas and like the stages, and I finally narrowed it down. It was '95.
Yeah, that's cool. We do plan on doing a table at a wrestling show in February. Once we actually pay for the table, we'll start talking about that. And,
Yes.
That's going to be fun. It's going to be a company that we've never done a table at before, so that'll be interesting. But Saturday night's main event, we are actually recording this on the day of the debut of the new Saturday night's main event, December 14th.
Is it going to be on Peacock?
I don't know if it's streaming on Peacock as well. Actually, you know what? We'll check right now.
Yes, because if it is, then I want to watch it.
Well, I got my phone out with my Roku remote. We can check it right now. But it's got the old school Obsession music. A lot of people were wondering, you know, why is that the theme? That was the original theme of Saturday Night's Main Event back in the day, but you won't see that on the network because they didn't pay for the rights for it back in the 80s, so they edited out all of the stuff. So, WWE. I hope it's going to be on Peacock.
I'm hoping so. Yes!
It is, yep. So it's going to be on Peacock, so you can watch it on NBC, which I'm going to, and it's going to be on Peacock as well. Jesse Ventura is going to be there. I hope he does commentary for the whole night.
And one night only. And I'm hoping it is the Wing Eagle belt.
That's my guess. I mean, for it to be one night only, I don't think they're going to bring back the big gold or the big, big eagle. It's got to be the Winged Eagle.
Yes.
And it's going to be Cody Rhodes bringing it out against Kevin Owens. I'm kind of in line with a lot of people. I think Kevin Owens could win it. I don't think he's going to win the title, but I could see him winning the match.
Yes.
Because I don't think they're going to... I think if they're going to do a title change, it's going to be at Netflix. But
they're doing a lot of good shit lately with Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if his contract is actually up like some people say it is.
And,
so...
Can you kind of see Cody Rhodes turning heel a little bit lately?
I mean, yeah, but as long as he's selling merchandise, I know, kind of like Cena, they're not going to do it. The crowd's turning against him anyways, the whole baby face, promos that he's doing just aren't resonating like they used to. They're not singing his music as loudly as they're doing it more for Rollins than they are for him. So I think his popularity is waning a lot, and because it's the same thing all the time. He's like Cena. It became the same thing every time, and but the women's title, it will be Liv Morgan against Io Sky. I think that'll be a really good match. For the world title, you mentioned it earlier, triple threat. Gunther against Damian Priest against Finn Balor. I don't see Gunther losing. I see Priest pinning Balor or something like that. One of the other guys getting the win, but Gunther not losing the title. That would be my guess. And of course, with it being a triple threat, no DQ, I could see Kaiser interfering as well.
Yes.
Try to help Gunther. This match I didn't know about because I have not watched SmackDown. Sami Zayn against Drew McIntyre. That'll be an amazing match, And then for the women's U.S. title, Mi Chin, who was Mia Yim, against Chelsea Green. I haven't seen a lot of those two lately because they don't really give them a lot of time, and I don't think I've ever seen them in a one-on-one match together. Maybe back in Impact when the two of them were in Impact together. But, the women's U.S. title, they've got that for SmackDown, and then they're going to have the Intercontinental title on Raw for the women. They need to keep this brand split the way it should be. You're going to have all these titles. There shouldn't be going back and forth anymore. Once Netflix is done, stop doing that. Because that makes the whole draft last year pointless. That makes the whole brand pointless. When Cody Rhodes is going from show to show, CM Punk's going from show to show, it just doesn't make sense. Because they've done this year after year. They did it in 04, they did it in 05, where they were actually they were going to brand split. And for 03 to maybe 06, 07? No, it was 07 when they went back to the having both brands on the pay-per-views. Of course, they had ECW then too. So, but it just feels like they don't
water down ECW.
Yeah. They don't follow through on things as much anymore. So, and they need the split brands, especially for when you bring NXT talent up, because you need the separate shows so these guys can get. That was the great thing about 02 and 03. Everybody got a storyline back, when Vince Russo was booking. Everybody in 03 got a storyline on SmackDown. Everybody on Raw got a storyline. It made it easier to do that because they were only on the one show.
Yeah, because look how we just explained with that the Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, exactly. You had so many good matches and so many good stars getting over. I think this will be good. I'm sure they're going to do surprise returns, retro returns and stuff like that. I'm sure you'll see a Sergeant Slaughter or a Hacksaw Jim Duggan appearance or something like that. Yeah. I wish Mean Gene was still alive. To have Mean Gene be there was awesome. I hope Sean Mooney shows up. I think that would be really cool.
Yes.
Sean Mooney as a backstage interviewer. Bring in Mike McGurk, the female ring announcer from the 90s. That would be really cool, because you can't have Howard Finkel, unfortunately, because he's passed away as well.
Let me tell you something, Mean Gene.
Right. And Hogan could make an appearance. That would be really cool,
yes.
too. Have Mr. T show up. He was part of the, Saturday Night. Have the $1 Million Man. There's so much you could do. Yes. It just, I hope they do really well with this. I hope John Cena doesn't show up. I don't think he will. I think they're going to save that for Netflix. I'm really excited for this. What do you think about Saturday night's main event?
Oh, I can't wait.
I think it's going to be good. I really do.
I'll probably be watching it. Probably won't watch it live.
Right. I will, but so we'll do a review of that on the next episode. I'm going to watch the Final Resolution where Tessa Blanchard. Let's see. Well, if we see Sonic before the next episode, and if Venom, I'll try to, because I'll do a full review of that too if I see it. We're going to do our Christmas episode on Christmas Eve. I will try to get it up on Christmas Eve. That way it'll be available on Christmas. So, Anything else you can think of before we wrap it up?
Not really.
cheappops.redbubble.com for merchandise.
Merchandising.
Get the Nick's Picks logo. Get our original Cheap Pops logo. We have our Double Dares inspired logo. We have our G.I. Joe inspired logo.
You still got to send me more logos so I can upload them into the wrestling game?
I do need to do that. We have our Macho Man sunglasses t-shirt inspired logo too. At Cheap Pop Show on social media. I don't know what else. Yeah. Follow our social media. Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think. Like I've said before, let us know if we suck. Let us know if you like it. We just like getting the interaction for people.
What about the game-changing wrestling thing?
That I would like to do, but to get your logo on the ring mat for Game Changer, it's $500. If we could scrounge up that kind of money before the deadline is up in January, I would love to do that. To get our logo on the ring mat at GCW at the Hammerstein Ballroom, which is going to be seen worldwide, I would like to do that. It's economically, I don't know if it's going to be possible, but
if I can put in some overtime, I might be able to do it for you.
Yeah, I mean, I'll put money into it too, but that would be really cool to have our logo on the ring mat at a GCW show. That would be sick. So
yes.
That is something that we may do. So if we do, we will let everybody know. Thank you so much for checking out the show. We hope you check out our Christmas episode. Why don't you take us out this time?
Season's beatings, everyone. Pop Guys out.